Today in the tutorial, we're going to make an awesome designer portfolio inside of Elementor Page Builder. Just like this, where you click on a project and you can see all the different images inside of that project. We're going to also create an awesome hamburger menu with an about page and a contact page. So what are you waiting for, guys? Let's get started. Hi, and thanks for joining. It's Amit from Design Hackers. Today in the tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create your own designer portfolio using WordPress. Today we're going to be using Elementor for building our website, and I'm on a clean WordPress installation, meaning I haven't touched anything yet, and this tutorial is going to be step by step showing you my exact techniques and my workflow. So the first thing we're going to do, of course, is to jump into Appearance, Themes, and install Hello Theme, which is a clean theme. So I clicked Add New, and I'm going to search in the theme catalog for Hello. Here it is, Hello Elementor. I'm going to click Install. It's going to install it, and of course, after it's been installed to our WordPress website, we're going to need to click Activate since it's not yet activated. So I clicked Activate, it just activates the theme. It's a clean theme, it doesn't have anything inside, which is exactly what we want, like a blank slate, a blank white page. And the next thing is going to be to install Elementor. Now you can see it suggests Elementor because that's how Hello Elementor works. So we can just click over here, Install Elementor, and it will install the plugin. Today, I'm going to be using Elementor Pro as well to create my header and footer. So we need to jump into the Elementor website. Let's check that out. So I'm just jumping into the Elementor website. Now, of course, if you haven't bought Elementor Pro yet, you're going to need to buy it. You can check out the different pricing. I'm going to post a link in the comments. And over here in my account, I can download the plugin. So I'm just going to download the plugin and take the plugin. Let's move it to the desktop so we can access it easily. And over here, I'm going to jump into plugins inside of my WordPress website, click Add New, and Upload Plugin. I'm not going to search for it in the plugin catalog, but I'm going to click the Upload Plugin button. Choose a file, here it is, Elementor Pro, and click Install Now. Now it's installing the Pro version of Elementor, so you do need the free version installed and install the Pro version as well, which adds some features. We do need to connect it to our license, so I'm going to click Connect and Activate, and now it will check that we're connected and logged into the Elementor website. Click Activate just so that activates it finally, and we should be able to get started working. So that's about it. You're going to need Hello installed, Elementor Free, and Elementor Pro. Make sure that each plugin or theme that you install, you do activate. So you can jump into plugins and make sure that everything's activated. So over here you can see you can only deactivate it now, so it means it's activated. Perfect. The next step, what we're going to do is start creating our home page. So I'm going to jump into Pages and add a new page. In this page, I'm going to select over here, I'm going to write home page, and let's click Edit with Elementor. This opens up the page editor. Now you can see there's sort of an ugly header over here in the page title, but that's about it. There's nothing else. So to eliminate this stuff right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into Settings, and over here in the page layout, I'm going to change that to Elementor Full Width and click Publish. Great, let's refresh the page, see if it eliminated something for us. So you can see it just moved out the page title. Now we need to move out this part. To move out this part, we're going to need to create a header. But before I'm going to do that, let's start creating our homepage over here. So our homepage will consist of a title. So it's going to be this title. So I just dragged and dropped that inside. And I'm going to write over here, I love turning pixels. Oops, Siri, bye-bye. Pixels into stuff. Perfect. That looks great. Let's center that. And in style, in the style tab, I'm just going to change that to black. And we can make it bigger if we want. So in typography, you can play around with this. Now, I want the sentence to be cut off in the center. A lot of people, what they do is they add a BR tag. I don't think that's the correct way of doing it. So I'm just going to right click into the section and change the content width. So now you can see that it gets cut off because the width of the column and the section is not wide enough to contain the whole sentence. So that's exactly what I wanted. And we can start creating the next section. So in the next section, it's going to be thumbnails that are going to be leading into the different portfolio sections in the website. So I'm just going to click plus over here and use a double column that's split, a section that's split into two columns. So for this part, I'm just going to use some regular images just to lead to my project pages. So I'm going to select the image widget, drag that inside of the column and change the image. So let's go for the first image and select and place that inside. Great, that looks pretty good. We can jump into style and check out if you want to change anything, and maybe change the opacity on hover mode. So for example, I'm going to change from normal to hover and change the opacity. So that just looks like it's clickable when you hover over it. Of course, in the content, you do want to make it a link and to lead it to a custom URL. In the next part of the tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a page from your portfolio page. So let's just copy this and paste that inside. And let's select a different image for each one of these. So that looks pretty awesome. Now, before you're starting to duplicate stuff, you do want to check that it's looking good. So in the edit section, I'm going to make the column gap as wide as possible over here, just so it gives us some white space and everything is not so close to each other. And over here, I'm going to duplicate the section. So let's duplicate the section, and you can see we're starting to get a nice layout over here. So let's start adding our images. Looking good. Duplicate the section again. And I think we're left with this image and this one. That's about it. Not gonna show more parts of this, but maybe I need to switch one of these because, okay, this is looking good. But I think that this color is too similar to this one and there's not enough contrast between them. So I'm just going to switch off the columns like this. And now you can see it's starting to look good. Maybe I'll move this one as well. Yeah, that's a nice layout. Perfect. So we got our homepage almost set up. And the next part is creating our menu. And I'm going to create also add a logo. So let's click update to save. And we want to jump back into WordPress. So hamburger menu, exit to dashboard. And over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into templates, theme builder. And over here, I'm going to add a header in the header tab. So let's add a new header. We'll call it header, which is pretty straightforward. Click the create template button. And over here, it shows us all sorts of presets for headers. I want a really, really simple one. So I think maybe I'll go for this one even, so which has a hamburger menu. So click insert and it's added it over here. So that looks pretty awesome. and we have the logo over here. Let's replace it with my logo. So click on that and upload a file, select, and over here we have my logo. Great. And click insert. Now you can see it's really big, which we don't want. So inside of the style tab, you can make this a lot smaller. Great. Looks like a good size to me. Looks balanced with the hamburger menu. I'm not sure, we need to check out. Oh, so I see the hamburger menu. What it does, it opens a pop-up. Okay, which is awesome. We can create that as well. So I'm going to click publish and add condition. The condition is going to be to include it into the entire site. And I'm going to click save and close. Great. So let's view the live site right now. And as you can see, this is great. We don't have the pop-up yet, so nothing is happening when I click on this hamburger menu, but the logo looks awesome. And let's just jump into the home page, which is over here. And you can see right now, it's not showing the home page that we've created. So the next step is going to tell WordPress to open the correct page. To do that, I'm going to jump back into WordPress, hamburger menu, exit to dashboard. And over here in the settings, I'm going to jump into reading, which is how people read the page. Instead of showing our latest post, I want to show a static page. And in homepage, I'm going to select the page that I've created, which I also called homepage. And I'm going to click Save Changes. Jump back into the front end of the website from the back end, refresh, and check that out. How awesome is that? So we're starting to get everything set up. Now when you're inside of page, you can just click edit with Elementor, and that will take you to the back end. Now we can also see our header inside of here. I want to space my first section over here, so I'm gonna right click edit section. Inside of the advanced tab, I'm going to add some padding on top and on the bottom, just so that's not as close as it was. And I'm going to click update. Great, so everything's starting to look good. I think I'm going to change the width over here of the content. And maybe you can go full width. Let's go for full width. So now to take this change and apply it on the rest of the sections, you can just copy and then click paste style. That will just copy only the styling settings and click update. To view the front end and not the back end, you can just click this little eye icon and that will show you your website. So this is looking pretty good. The next thing will be to create our menu, which is going to be a pop-up. Before creating the pop-up, you need to jump into the back end inside of WordPress and create the menu. So over here, we're going to jump into appearance, menus, and I'm going to be creating a menu. So let's create a menu. I'm going to call it main menu, create menu. And over here, what we need to do is to start adding pages. To add pages to our menu, you can just select these pages over here. So this one we don't need, so I'm going to remove it. And you can see we have only the home page. Let's click Save Menu just to save that. And let's create our other pages. To create our other pages, what we're going to do is jump into Pages, and we're just going to have 2 more pages. The privacy and sample page we can delete, so just choose them, move to trash, and apply. That gets rid of them. And let's add a new page, which is going to be called About, and we can just publish that. And inside of Pages, I'm going to add another one, which is going to be a contact page. So edit with Elementor, and that just published that as well. Now, the next part is going to be to connect our hamburger menu to this nice pop-up that we're going to create. So to do that, we need to jump back into WordPress, And before that, actually, we need to add these pages into our menu. So appearance, menus, and over here you can see we have our contact and about page. I'm going to click add them to the menu, and it should add them right over here. You can drag and drop these if you want to reorder them, but right now the ordering looks correct to me. Just click save menu. Don't forget to click save menu, because your changes won't be saved if you don't do so. The next part is jumping into templates. We're going to create a pop-up. So create your first pop-up, add a new pop-up, and this pop-up, we're going to give it a name. I'm going to call it main menu as well. Over here, we're going to click create template, and it will suggest all sorts of templates. And you can check out if you have, maybe they have a predefined one for a full page menu. If they don't, we'll just create that. This looks pretty good, actually. Maybe let's just select this one and insert it. And if we will want later on, we can just play around with that and change parts of it if we want. But that's looking pretty good. So, I mean, this looks awesome. So let's click publish, and we do need to add a condition for it to be on the entire site, and click next, next, save and close. That's about it. And I think this part I'm going to delete, so let's just delete some of these, maybe move these ones under the text over here. Great, this is looking good. And I'm going to click update again to save. And you can see this is our menu already. So homepage, contact, about, everything like that. And this is going to be the close button. Now we need to connect our header, which is this part over here, to our menu. So jumping into the editor, I'm going to click edit header. And now it will replace. So now I'm editing the header. I'm going to click on the hamburger menu, and over here where it says pop-up, I need to select the correct pop-up. So what it does, it opens a pop-up, and over here we need to search for our pop-up that we've just created. So I'm going to click update, and I think we have everything set up. So just to get everything organized, let's organize our tabs. Let's close the Elementor website. We don't need it. This is our front end. Let's just check it out, and I'm going to click the hamburger menu. You can see it opens up our menu, and now I can navigate between the different pages or close the pop-up if I want. That looks awesome. Really, I'm really satisfied with what's happening over here. By the way, this video is not rehearsed if you haven't noticed yet. So I'm just playing everything by ear, and I'm really starting to be happy with what we're getting. So the next part is going to be linking one of these thumbnails into a page that we're going to create, which is going to be a project page with all the images of that different project. So let's leave this front end view open, and I'm going to jump over here into the WordPress backend, and we're going to create a new page. Add new page. Gonna give that page the project name, and that looks good. And I'm going to click edit with Elementor. Inside of Elementor, let's check out what we have. So again, we have this annoying title. To eliminate that, in the settings, you're going to want to jump into page layout, change that to Elementor full width, and just get rid of it. So publish, and you're going to need to refresh the page. Over here, this section, what it's going to have is just all of the separate images that we have in our website or in our project. So I'm just going to drag that inside. This is going to be the first one. Click edit section. Let's add some padding on top so it's not so close to our header. Maybe let's go for 60 pixels. And we need to upload some files. So upload, select, and we have the project ready over here. Now I won't add all of the images just so This video won't be so long. This is just going to be an example. So let's just give all of the images some time to upload. And now they've uploaded. Now I'm going to want to add the first one. So I think this one is the first one, and I'm going to click Insert Media. Great, so we have our first image. Now I want to show you something really cool, which is adding some animation, entrance animation to the image. So inside of the Advanced tab, I'm going to jump into Motion Effects. And over here, what we want is scrolling effects. Or maybe not scrolling, mouse effects. Yeah, I think it's scrolling effects. And maybe let's just do vertical scroll and maybe opacity, just so we add some opacity. And let's duplicate this and add the next image. So over here it's going to be the second image. Let's select that. Now over here in the motion effects, what we want is, oh sorry, we don't want motion effects, we want an entrance animation. So I'm gonna choose fade in up. Great, that's what maybe, is there something smaller? Fade in up, slide in up. Let's try that. Maybe slide in. You need to play around with these. Light spit in. Okay, let's go for fade in up. Or maybe fade in, just so it will be subtle. I don't know why the image got smaller, so I'm just going to jump into the Style tab, and in the width, I'm going to select 100% width. Same thing over here, Style width, 100% width. Let's copy and paste the style just so the entrance animation doesn't occur inside of Advanced Motion Effects. Yeah, great. That's fade in. Looking good. Not sure, that's off. Great. So these are set up. Let's duplicate the section again. And over here, I'm going to select a different image. Let's go for this one. Duplicate the section again. And select a different image. And you continue doing this until you have all your images. So I think for example purposes, we'll just do one more. Let's go for this one. Great, but you can see it's pretty fast. I mean, it doesn't take a long time. And I'm gonna click Update to update the page. The next thing we need to do is to link the thumbnail. So I'm just jumping back into the back end. Over here, I want to demonstrate what I want to do. So I want, when you click on this one, it's going to open that that page, that dedicated page. So jump back into Pages, and in the home page, edit with Elementor. And now what we're going to do is we're going to connect this thumbnail to our link. Over here in the thumbnails, let's go for dynamic tags. And what we want to use is an internal URL. Now we could go into the settings, and the type is going to be content. And we need to search the name of the page. So in our case, it's microbets. I'm going to click Update to save. Jump back into the front end, refresh, and I'm going to test this. So now when you click on this thumbnail, it should go to that exact page. And now you can see that small fade when you're scrolling down, which looks pretty awesome. And our page looks great. You can also open the pop-up, jump back into the home page, which also looks awesome. So wow, we've achieved a lot of stuff in not a lot of time. And the next step is going to be adding the About page and the Contact page with a form. So back to the back end, exit to the dashboard, and inside of Pages, let's jump into the About page. Over here in the About page, we're going to click Edit with Elementor. and start editing the page. Again, settings, page layout, Elementor, full width, update, refresh, and that will just eliminate the page title. Over here, I'm just going to drag inside an image. Let's replace that image with my profile image. So I'm going to select, upload, and over here, jump to my image. This is going to be my profile image. Now this is very wide, so I'm just going to constrain the section width, edit section, and play around with the width over here. Let's add some padding on top in the advanced tab. So over here, let's add like 60 pixels on top. And in the widgets pane, I'm going to add a text editor with my intro text. So I created some text beforehand, and it's over here. Let's copy this text. Great. And paste it. Perfect. Looks pretty awesome. And maybe I'll move my name to be a title. So widgets pane. Let's drag inside a heading over here. Not sure why that didn't happen. Let's do it again. Great. And copy my text over here and paste it. In the style tab, let's just change that to black. This is looking pretty good. Now over here, you can see there are some links to my social accounts. So I'm just going to add a new widget, search for the word social icons, drag that inside, and let's start copying the links. And over here, the first one is Facebook, so we can leave the icon as it is. The next one is going to be Dribble. Now I didn't test this before, but let's just check that they have a dribble icon. Perfect. It even takes the dribble color, which is awesome. And let's do the last one. So YouTube, we're going to replace that with LinkedIn and paste the link. Great. So that came out very nice, and this is looking good. I think I'll also maybe change the style of this a little bit. So maybe the shape can be a circle, and let's go into style. Maybe we can space these out a little bit. You can play around with this. It's really awesome. You can also add a custom color, even though that I think that looks good. You can play with the size of the icons. So I think they should be smaller and make the padding larger, which is the space around of each icon. And I'm going to click update to save. So that's about it. We're done with our about page. The next page is going to be a contact page. So let's jump back into our dashboard. And inside of the dashboard, what we're going to do is we're going to pages, and I'm going to edit the contact page. So edit with Elementor. And the contact page is going to be pretty simple. Again, settings, page layout, Elementor full width, update, and refresh the page just to get rid of this title over here. Next part is adding a heading. Let's change that inside of style to black. And let's see, I created some text over here. So we can copy our title and put it over here inside of contents, and maybe take another widget for the text editor and copy our text. Not sure why. Okay, great. You can see there's some lagging sometimes, but just don't get annoyed from it. Keep going. Everything is going to be okay. You can save and refresh as well. That sometimes helps as well. Inside of padding, I'm going to add some top padding. So let's go for 60, not 600. And that's about it. We need to start adding our form. So in the widgets pane, I'm going to search for the word form. Just drag that inside, and that's about it. Your form is ready. I mean, you can style it if you want. Let's change the button from this green to be something like black and gray in the hover mode, which looks pretty good. And that's about it. I mean, you're ready to go. You can change, let's change the width of the section. So edit section, layout. Let's make that not so wide so it doesn't look weird. Over here in the rows gap, let's space this a little bit. I'm not sure that I need the label. So over here in the field, style, maybe we can take off the label. I'm not sure where you take that off. Maybe inside of content. Label, so we can take that off. That looks better. Inside of style, field, let's add a background color, maybe something really subtle, just so that looks better. And I think we're set up. And to make this send, I think that's inside of content, actions after submit. It should send an email. Over here, that's the email of your admin. So that's it. Everything should be working. I mean, you don't need to change anything. Maybe the from mail. Let's just put my mail over here and click update to save. So this page is ready as well. And the next thing I'm going to do is just test that everything is working. So jump into the front end and let's go over everything. So we have a home page with thumbnails that each one of them is going to lead into a project page. I click on one of my projects, that just opens the project. Over here, a user can scroll down and see all the images inside of my project. There's a hamburger menu that we can jump into the contact page and leave a message if we want, and an about page that you can view and as well a user can read. Use the social links. Now you can see in the hamburger menu, the ordering is not correct. The contact page should be after the about page, and we need to edit our pop-up with the social links just so there are the same links, and that's how we're going to finish off this tutorial. So to do these two changes, I'm just gonna jump out over here and let's go into appearance, menus, and over here we can just drag the contact page underneath the about page and click save menu. So we've done that. The next part is going into pages, or not pages, we want the pop-up. So templates, pop-ups, and edit this pop-up. And what I'm going to do is something pretty cool. I'm going to copy this widget, which is the social icons, into this column. So to do that, I'm going to click edit with Elementor and right click copy on the widget, and over here I'm going to right click paste, and now I can delete this one and I can take this one and align it to the left. So that was just a quick example of how I take something that's predefined from another page and just copy and paste it to a different page. You can do that with all sorts of stuff, all sorts of styles. Really, really cool. So I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and if you did, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'm going to see you in the next video.